Manza Young of Yahoo Sports and Yahoo Sports Shutdown Corner blog. That's right. Shalise, Manza Young, we missed you since we last talked to you. You have had a child and you have a new job. Congratulations on both.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, big changes around here.
Yeah, you've been pretty busy, to say the least. Very impressive stuff, and now we're excited to have you on Yahoo Sports and excited about the tweets and the blogs you were writing about all around the NFL, including in Indianapolis last night. The Jets win 20-7 on Monday Night Football. There is a divide from the head coach to the front office in Indy. Who is the individual who should take the blunt of this, Shalise?
You know, if it was me, I would go after Grigson first. I know that's always a tough thing when you hire a GM who's not, you know, the coach is not the GM's guy per se. We saw that a couple of years ago when Idzik had to keep Rex around. But, you know, I think you look at Ryan Grigson, he hasn't addressed really the defensive side of the ball, and that's what Chuck Pagano is. He's a defensive coach. And then you have last night, the offensive line continues to not play that well, and I'm sure, you know, it seems like it's a mess. And I'm sure if Donald Thomas was healthy, we saw he suffered another season-ending injury. He was a big free agent signing for them a couple of years ago. That would probably help, but, you know, it just seems like Grigson doesn't address the areas where they most need it. And, you know, now you have the situation that they're in. So I would go for Grigson first, but who knows with Jim Irsay what we're looking at.
So what was more shocking to you last night, how bad the Colts were or how good the Jets were?
It was more how bad the Colts were. You know, I think, look, even Tom Brady inferred last week that the Colts are a little soft. So, you know, if you lose the season opener on the road, everybody knows how excited Buffalo is to have Rex there and, you know, the energy that he's brought to the city and to the fan base of the Bills and things like that. So if they lose on the road last week against a tough defensive front, okay, that's one thing. But then you have your season opener and, you know, Adam Vinatieri, who's the most clutch kicker the league's ever had, is doinking field goals off the uprights. Luck threw 3 interceptions. It was, to me, that was more surprising, was to see them even return home and still not look good.
Shalise, Manza Young of Yahoo Sports and the Yahoo Shutdown Corner blog. Shalise, how much credit should we then give the Jets for the 2-0 start that they're off to thus far?
You know, I think you have to give them some credit for that because it's not easy to win in this league as much as people want to. You know, you do want to look at the fact of who they played and, okay, what do we think of the Colts at this point? Are the Colts the team that was in the AFC Championship game last year, or are they now, you know, receding back to the middle? Are they just an average team? But they're still 2-0. You know, they still have won both of the games that they put up there. The Todd Bowles within the last hour just said they're going to stick with Ryan Fitzpatrick even when Geno Smith comes back, which, you know, it's amazing that one punch could change so much. But you know, I think you give credit to Todd Bowles. He has a great defense. Unfortunately, Rex was not provided the same, you know, strength on the defensive side of the ball last year. But having Darrelle Revis, having that defensive front that they have, it certainly goes a long way. And they don't, as long as that defense is playing well, Fitzpatrick doesn't have to win you games. He just has to not lose you games.
Jets-Pats has always been such a big rivalry, and I'm already looking ahead to Week 7. I can't wait to see what Todd Bowles can do, whether he can do better than Rex did. But is a lot of that rivalry going to be toned down now that Rex is gone, or does the sheer hatred of Jets-Pats live on past Rex leaving?
I think it might be toned down a little bit. Talking is definitely not something that Todd Bowles does, but certainly, you know, with Revis going back to the Jets, and some of the things that he has said in the last few months since he returned to the Jets about the Patriots and, you know, not really defending Tom Brady in the whole Deflategate mess and the scandal with his mother and his Super Bowl ring and the Super Bowl party and all that stuff. I think that certainly is going to add some intrigue in these two franchises. There's always something that's going to keep that rivalry going.
Shalise, Manza Young of Yahoo Sports and Shutdown Corner. And Shalise, this week you wrote, Rex Ryan still talking despite loss to Patriots. We just went over the Rex Ryan cut in which he is comparing the Patriots to Boy Scouts and pointing his fingers across the sideline. Is his obsession with the Patriots too much?
I think it might be. I think it might be detrimental to him. And look, I understand when you're a competitor in anything, the person who you perceive as the best or the person who's the number one, you want to take them down. And that's been Bill Belichick for him, especially as he's stayed in the AFC East. But it does. It seems like he gets so riled up, and it now has been, I think he's lost 9 out of the last 10 games that his teams have played Belichick and the Patriots. So, it's really one-sided again. The first couple of years Rex was with the Jets, it was pretty even, or it seemed like he really had something figured out with how to play Brady, and they played the Patriots really well. Of course, they had that 2010 playoff game, but since then, he's lost 9 of the 10 times he's gone against Belichick and Brady. So I think, to the jab and at the Patriots and saying they weren't the Boy Scouts, you need to look at your own team. You had, 14 or 15 penalties on Sunday. That's just undisciplined play. And you can't have that in this league. You can't give away 100 yards in penalties and expect that you're going to do well. You just can't do that. So, he needs to look inward, and as frustrating as it was covering Belichick every day for a decade, that was the one thing that he always did. He never made excuses. He never turned it on the other team. Yeah, his team had, I think it was 11 penalties, and he is going to be mad, and he is going to fix that. But he wasn't pointing across the way and saying, well, yeah, maybe we had 11, but look at the Bills had 15. He would never do that.
Shalise Manza Young, Yahoo Shutdown Corner. She's on Twitter at Shalise M. Young. And Shalise, now that you cover the entire NFL, I can ask you about Thursday Night Football. Giants, Redskins. What is your grasp on this game as the Giants are grasping for dear life, now 0-2? Yeah,
I think this is, you don't want to say must-win game, but I think it is a must-win game for them. If they're going to have any sort of chance, because look at what we've seen in the first 2 games for the Cowboys. They were supposed to be, the class of the NFC East probably this year. They lose Des Bryant. They lose Tony Romo. The Eagles are a mess. My husband is an Eagles fan, and he is so done with Sam Bradford already 2 weeks into the season. But, if they want to rebound, they can. The division is there. You have to think the division's there. I mean, the Redskins, they're one of the most dysfunctional franchises in the league. They have been for a long time. It's only a matter of time before something happens and they sort of go off the rails. So it's there for the taking for the Giants if they can put it together. And they were supposed to be past that. There were some growing pains last year with a new offensive coordinator. Now it's supposed to be better, and it's just finishing. I mean, it's been both times they've been close, and they can't hang on and finish the game.
Yeah, gut-wrenching. Shalise Manza Young, Yahoo Shutdown Corner on Twitter, at Shalise M. Young. Shalise, congratulations again on the kiddo and the gig, and I'm sure we'll talk again in the near future. Thank you so much.
You bet, guys. Have a great night.
There she goes, one of our favorites, Shalise Manza Young with Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team.